The question is, are there differences between the major causes of global obesity, and particularly in low and middle income countries, from what we find in the US and other high income countries? And the answer is yes and no. First off, one of the biggest causes of global obesity has been a shift to use of cheap vegetable oils in most low and middle income countries. In the US, we shifted away from butter and lard in the 50s and 60s into vegetable oils. That initially was Crisco, now it's healthy vegetable oils, but the reality is, whatever it was, we went through that shift before the obesity crisis. In low income countries, they got access to very, very cheap vegetable oils. So number one are vegetable oils. An average person in Asia probably consumes between 300 and 500 calories a day from vegetable oil. If they're low income, more than from high income. So that's, you have 9 calories to every gram of vegetable oil. You add a lot of that to your food. It tastes better, but it brings a lot of calories. So that's one issue that's very different. The second area that's quite different is, for the last 40 or 50 years in the high income countries, we've consumed an awful lot of dairy and animal foods. We haven't changed our intake very much, except the low-income Americans have increased over the last 30 or 40 years. In contrast, in the low-income world, 10 years ago, they consumed about 1/20th of what we do in the US, and they have been increasing quite rapidly, particularly in the better off countries, the Chinas, Mexicos, Brazils, India, countries that have gone up. In China, it may be pork and beef and poultry. In India, it'll be dairy products. In Brazil, it'll be beef. It doesn't matter what they are. They have been increasing those, and that has been a source of change in their calories. The other area is the same across the globe. It's the sweetening of the world's diet. Every country in the globe has increased the amount of sugar of one sort. I don't care whether it's sugar or high fructose corn syrup or any of 100 other caloric sweeteners. We've increased it in our diets. It's global, and it's been more and more in beverages across the globe, and it's clearly one of the major causes that's uniform across the world in the increased obesity.